What's up, guys? This is Juan with another episode of Full Sin, brought to you by the Trailer Parks Outlet. Ooh, pineapple.
Yeah, strawberry's nasty.
Negative.
No, this is.
Oh, yeah, they're hit and miss with Bucky sometimes. But no, this is another episode of Full Sin. Sorry for the distraction. But yeah, no, if you haven't hit the like button or hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that, and stay tuned for this one.
Let's get straight to the point. This what you do and what you don't do. No bullshit, sugarcoat when it comes to repairs and maintenance. Advice you can go to. Full Sin, no edits, cause just go to Full Sin, and we'll get you done right. Full Sin, and we'll get you going right. Full Sin, keep it going day and night. And this ain't just a podcast, we get it right and keep it tight.
So, on this episode, I don't even know what we're going to talk about, really. Been a busy last 2 weeks.
ASMR episode.
Huh? What?
I said it's ASMR.
I don't know what that means.
What?
Huh?
Okay, go ahead.
Focus, please.
I'm sorry. Golly. But no, it's been a long 2 weeks. It's been a busy 2 weeks. Last week I was outside with the guys helping in repairs. I had a couple team members out, and it's been a minute since I've done repairs, but rewired a trailer, repacked some bearings, changed a couple axles, did some fab work on a dump trailer. So we stayed pretty busy, which is good. And the crazy part is we're learning a new process or a repair process through the whole thing. So kind of seeing how it flows. So, and making notes where I can make some adjustments later on. But now, yeah, for the last couple weeks, ever since we had our quarterly or State of the Union, we've rolled out our processes. And so this quarter, we're going to train and I forgot what the other word is, but we're going to train and evaluate and see how everything's functioning. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I was in the repairs, last week and a couple days this week. So, or yesterday. Today's Tuesday. So, yeah, one day this week. And it's going pretty good. Few notes. We're putting everything in Google Calendar, which is good, but if you don't allow somebody to have the process, excuse me. Screw you, allergies. Screw you, Texas weather. But no, it's been pretty good. Excited to see how the rest of the departments function with these new processes and basically streamlining everything together. I know operations has theirs from inventory management, warehousing, purchasing, fulfillment, repairs. And I know finance has theirs, so does sales and customer service. So it's pretty neat. Sorry, my allergies are making me lose focus. But no, I know one thing with repairs, one thing I noticed is that you can quote it out for something simple, and then once you start tearing into it, it becomes more of a pain in the butt because you go from, we're just going to change out, let's just say, your brakes, but then when you tear down your brakes, you see that your springs are shot. So you ask the customer if he wants to replace his suspension, which is great. It adds more revenue, but it's just extends your calendar or your time frames in your window. So you got to make sure you leave yourself enough room so in case they do want to add some extra service to it, from kind of like the Santa Elena trailer we're working on right now. They brought their stock trailer. They had just bearings, but when we changed the bearings, we figured out that all its brakes were shot. So we had to change all the brakes, change all the drums, change all the bearings in them. And then, that was fun. It went from a 3-hour job to about 4.5. So, I mean, gotta leave yourself enough time in the books to make sure that, if they want to add a couple more stuff to it, that you can have sufficient time and don't overcrowd your books with it. I know for operationally speaking, on the fulfillment side, I think we got 5 team members now on doing ground packages. Which, if it all goes well, if they can all do 30, that'll put them at 150 a day, 750 a week, which is pretty good. It'll keep us in track with our metrics to usually. Sounded like he farted. But it keeps us in track with our metrics. Usually when it's a $1.2, $1.3 million month, we ship anywhere from 2,500 packages or orders. So 750, that's what, 14, 28. So that should keep us, 30 a day should keep us in line to being able to fulfill all those metrics between 1.2 to 1.4 million in a month. And then in freight, I finally got 2 people in freight, which is a relief because we do maybe 20, anywhere from 15 to 20 orders a day in freight. And those add up quick. And if we're going off of shipped revenue for our non-negotiables, freight orders can add up quick because they're a high value item. So like one weekend, me and Luke knocked out $40,000, but it was only, I think, 11 or 12 orders that we worked on. So it adds up quick. I know inside with Samantha, Brandon, and Jimmy, it's a little bit different. And I know Brandon's taking over purchasing, and he's doing a kick-ass job at it. Job. But no, it's been pretty interesting. This next quarter, I'm gonna just sit back and watch them for the next couple of weeks and just take notes, and then sit down with them and see where we can work on or where we need to make improvements on the process. Because it's more than one way to skin a cat. So just because I took their advice on or their opinions on writing the processes, so now that we have them written down and they're doing them, I'm just gonna give them my 2 cents on it. But it's going to be an interesting quarter. I know this month has been rocking and rolling. I think we're on track to do 1.6, I think, if that's what Lacey said last time. 1.6 million. So that's great for the month of March. March has always been a pretty good month for us. No, in February we did great. We did I think 1.2 or 1.3, if I'm mistaken. But February has been pretty good. Which is interesting because in the trailer industry, from what a lot of my buddies tell me, is that the month of January and February, they were down about 21%. But then in the month of March, when I talked to them last week, the week before, they said they were up by 15% from their regular numbers in March. So that's good. So that means it's turning. The shift's turning. They did say that they've seen about a 5% decrease in pricing. So what that means is for the end consumer, that just means a little bit more savings in the pocket when you go to buy a trailer. Last episode, I think we talked about Lippert and Dexter and all the ATW stuff. Which is still on track from what I've heard, but it's a good thing. I mean, good and bad. I mean, you got a lot of end consumers who, like I said in the last episode, know Dexter for Dexter. I mean, Dexter's pretty been good at taking care of the customers and getting them taken care of when they have issues. And not speaking wrong about Lippert, but Dexter's has done a better job at branding. And now you're taking at least 4 or 5 trailer manufacturers who are switching from Dexter to Lippert, and that's going to be, it's going to be a little shock at first, but who likes change? Nobody really likes. Sorry, Scarlett over there smelling her fruit, but
I'm not smelling.
Dexter, like I said, nobody likes change, but like anything, it's going to change. Things change, and like before, if you didn't have a Bulldog coupler. Nobody wanted it, but then they went back overseas, or they went overseas for cheaper material, cheaper labor, and now nobody really cares about the coupler. I mean, you still want good couplers, but same thing, not down talking Lippert. I mean, they got a 7-year warranty on their axles. From the past experiences I've had with their product, I mean, they've had great customer service. So it's going to be interesting. Still haven't seen it officially drop to where they've mentioned it to everybody, but I've had talked to several manufacturers and dealers for ATW and a bunch of their trailer dealers, and some of them already know, some of them didn't know. But it is going to be, like I said, it's going to be a culture shock. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, my allergies, I feel like I'm yelling, but I don't even know if I'm yelling or not. If there was a camera on Scarlett's face right now after eating that bad fruit, it would be hilarious. But now another big thing that's happening is, I went blank. I know we got partial form coming up in September. We got NATDA in September. I think we just finished the county fair here. Let's see. I don't know if there's any other thing coming on or coming up that I can think of off the top of my head, but we are back to the process. I know we're switching back or bouncing back and forth, but the processes with the operations, I know it's helping us push the product faster out to the customers, and in turn, I mean, happy customer, happy wife, happy life. So happy customer, hopefully they return and buy some more stuff. But no, I should really do something like that. What Kiefer has up there, external posting guide. But that is good. That way it's a visual. But no,
He got the podcast days wrong, though.
it's fine.
He put you on Friday.
So I'm early. That's okay. But no, I know here on the next episode, we're probably going to talk about some on gun safety, I guess, and parenting. And I mean, we live in a crazy world where they're running drills in school instead of tornado drills like I grew up with. They're running, I guess, what you would call a hostile or active shooter drills. Yeah, thank you, Kiefer. But yeah, we'll get into that one in the next episode. But no, like I said, for this one, just went over the processes. It's something new we're trying. We're not trying. It's something new we're implementing. And like Lisa says, it takes 7 times for it to get into someone's head to get it done. So hopefully everything rolled out great. But yeah. But yeah, no, like I said, this one just over processes. Next one we'll probably get into some of the new drills they're doing at school about active shooters instead of tornado drills, or even if they even still do tornado drills. But yeah, stay tuned for the next one. And again, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe. I say go check out my merch, but my merch was second down because of somebody. But that's fine. No hard feelings, brother. Good old Canadians. But, yeah. Stay tuned for the next one. Till then.
Bye.
Adios.
Let's get straight to the point. This what you do and what you don't do. No bullshit. Sugarcoat when it comes to repairs and maintenance. Advice you can go to. Full sin, no edits, cause just go to. Full sin, and we'll get you done right. Full sin.